of different race. How can they get rich on that? Because you can't go and kill somebody you respect.
It isn't religion.
You can't go murder somebody that you respect and understand. You can't do that.
Content over everything.
You can't do that. So therefore, the religious leaders must spread hate of each community to each other.
Proof in there.
Most Muslims, most Jewish, most Christians want to get on with each other and not live in a world where we're bombing other countries because they look different to us.
But that's race
because
as a whole.
we're living,
It's not religion,
because
it's race
they
as a
have
whole.
a different religion to us, because they have a different idea how to live in this world than they do. That's how the rich get rich, by spreading hatred.
Yes, true.
In a democracy, in a democracy, the voice of the community would be listened to. The Jewish man and woman, the Muslim man and woman, the Christian man and woman, and the others as well that live in that community. And then we'd hear, actually, murdering each other is pretty fucking shit. What is good? What is good is being able to have a decent conversation with each other. But people respecting each other doesn't lead to mass genocide. What it leads to is communities growing, communities getting stronger, communities respecting each other, and all of us becoming more enlightened. And that destroys the wealth of the rich. That destroys the wealth. When I say rich, by the way, I mean billionaires, not millionaires. Millionaires are still poor.
Sorry if you're a millionaire.
Millionaires are just as poor as everyone else. But the difference between a millionaire and another person is a millionaire can afford that this lie of the world is okay, and they can buy themselves nice things to justify the hell that they live in. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone would do that if they had money. It's not small wealth, it's billionaires, war industries, and people who own most of the world. That's what destroys democracy and communities. Would you like to say anything?
Very good, thanks.
You like that?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Dust. Look at me on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm on YouTube. Thank you very much. Do we live in a democracy? Do you think your vote is respected? Yes or no? You think it's respected? Then why do you think there's so much war in the world? Did you vote for war? And yet there is still war in this world. Did you vote for pollution? And yet there is terrible, horrendous pollution in this world. Did you vote for religions to be in a forever war with each other? So, I asked you, do you live in a democracy? You said yes. I said, do you think you're listened to? You said yes. I named 3 things which the rich use to gain their wealth. Do you think those 3 things is what you voted for? Why they're not listening to you? So why is there still, as we both agreed, religious wars? Why is there still pollution? No, this is exactly what politics is about. Politics is about what you think is right, stopping religious war. And when you live in a democracy, by the way, if you do live in a democracy, if your view is the majority, then that would be what your government looks like. You are a majority, and yet your voice is being ignored. Hello, how you doing? Do you believe you live in a democracy? Why not? Yes, I would say a dictatorship over democracy, but basically we both agree with each other. And what leads you to this conclusion, sir? This is true. Originally, and mostly, whoever you vote for, you end up with the same people in power. But somebody actually has come along and upset that cart. Do you know who that is? That's right. Jeremy Corbyn isn't the same people they always tell you to vote for. Jeremy Corbyn, in fact, wants a different world where war is not glorified by the rich and where the rich profit off the war. That's what Jeremy Corbyn wants. And do you know how many billions upon billions each year are spent on war by the Western and other powers in this world? Billions upon billions upon billions. Jeremy Corbyn's voice, which is the voice of the majority of the people in this world, by the way, says war shouldn't happen. But that means what? That means the billionaires of the world lose their money. That's what it means. It comes down to profit and loss. That's what it comes down to. And the billions made from war would be eradicated if the people of this world lived in a democracy. Jeremy Corbyn is part of a democracy, and he fights for a democracy, and he does not fight for the billionaires of this world who want us to murder each other because we are different religions, because we look different, because in a community where you respect a person that's different to you, you can't make billions off those people from murdering each other.
I thought we agreed that we weren't going to wear the same coat.
No. What Jeremy Corbyn tried to do is talk to everybody on every side. And his past record is testimony to that fact. You can't have peace talks without talking to your enemy and sitting down and listening and understanding, because a world where people don't talk to each other is a world where war and genocide will always reign. And in that world, the rich will get richer while your community lays in a ditch just being murdered by a bomb of someone wealthy. That's our world. How would you make this world a better place? Pardon? Yeah, you could. You've already done the first major step of making this world a better place. And that's understanding that this is not a democracy. This is not a democracy.
It's a joke.
It is a joke. It is a joke. What a democracy looks like, it in fact looks like you and how you feel and how you think and what you want from this world. Far right, nutter. That's what a democracy looks like. A democracy looks like us, and it wants what we want. That's what a democracy looks like. And if your democracy doesn't look like your world, then maybe you should be asking, is this really a democracy? Did you ask for war? Did you ask for pollution? Did you ask for hate spread in our media all the time? Because if you didn't, which is the majority of the people in this world, by the way, then you don't live in a democracy. And if your world is full of hate and violence, war, genocide, and the lack of education and free health, then just maybe, that is not a democracy. We were told we were born into a democracy. At school, your school lied to you. That is a lie. A democracy looks like how we want the world to look like. And that's where each of us can speak to each other without violence or swearing or hating. And in fact, it's how we would treat our own brother and sister. That's how different people should talk to each other. And our mothers and fathers, that's how we should be treating different people. And if we're not speaking like that, that means we've been educated by the far right to hate the people around us and not to understand the people around us. That is not a democracy. A democracy is education, is understanding, is respecting. That's what a democracy offers. How do I know that? Because the majority of people I've ever met in this world actually want a world without pollution or war or hatred, and where different religions can actually get on with each other. That's the majority. There is a minority that all they have is hate. You're always going to get that. Always. Don't let them take your religion. Don't let them take your philosophy, ideology. Let your religion, philosophy, ideology stand for what you really stand for, which is a world where we can live together in one community across this world without bombing someone else because they're different. That's not a democracy. That's not a community. What a community is all of us getting on with each other. And yes, we'll always have our arguments, but let's not wake up in the morning already hating without any other reason. Let's not wake up and let that hate then become our life. Let's not do that. Let our respect show what we are. Let our understanding and love for the world let us what we stand for. But the rich elite will never let you have that life. The life they want is you to hate each other, for you to swear at each other, because it makes them richer. Your hate, your swearing can only lead to one thing, and that one thing is genocide and war. And in genocide and war, apart from the working class being murdered again, what else happens? It makes the rich richer. Their whole life is built on the blood of everyone on this planet, basically. That's the world we live in today. That's the world our parents lived in yesterday. And that will be tomorrow, unless we stand for a democracy, unless we stand for what our hearts really want, which is a world where we do care for each other, do respect each other, and where we all grow as communities, not on the blood of a community that we hate, but on the respect and love which comes from all of us. Any objections to that? Any objections? Does that sound weird and radical? Or does that actually sound pretty bloody normal? Because I suspect it sounds pretty normal that people waking up for a better world is what we really all want. Yes, a democracy will deliver that. But you have to live in a democracy to begin with. And if your democracy don't look like you, then I would suspect that democracy is in fact owned by the elite, like Donald Trump. Look at his world. His world isn't breaking down barriers. His world is building barriers. His world is funding genocides. He has just given the greatest injection of cash into the US military in recent history. Making weapons don't bring peace. It should be obvious. What brings peace is sitting down around a table and talking to each other. But you can't make billions of pounds, ladies and gentlemen, from a single table and people talking to each other. You just can't make billions of pounds. But how do you make billions of pounds? Easy. You make other people just murder each other for nothing. That's right, for nothing.
Really? That makes millions of pounds?
Pardon?
That makes millions of pounds?
No, mate. It makes billions of billions.
Okay,
and that's just per year.
Where do I sign up?
Sorry?
Is there like an application form? Can I apply? Because I like to make billions of pounds.
Yeah, I know. You see, there are always going to be people in this world that hate this world.
I like making
There
billions
will
of pounds.
always be people in
like
this
money.
world that hate this world. Let's not make them our leaders, our religious leaders, our philosophers. Let's say no to them. And a democracy would be one unanimous no to those people like him. He is a minority. The majority want a world where we have a table surrounded by people who want a better world. That's the majority of people on this planet. But you can't make billions of pounds out of a table. And you can't make billions of pounds of people respecting each other and understanding each other and listening to each other. You can't just make billions doing that. What you make £1 billion from is people fighting each other. That's how our world works today.
I like money.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is also the history of our world.
Content over everything. From your melody.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Right.
Listen.
That's what I'm talking about. And I'm trying to relate culture back to money and faith. All of it. Yes.
Say, Europeans.
Man don't even know BBC, man don't even know ITV, not even listen to MUM, they listen to COE.